Whenever we think of the Good Shepherd, we're tempted to think about a blonde, blue-eyed Jesus who's either holding or has put over his shoulder the cutest little sheep you can imagine. It's really actually kind of adorable. But I'm pretty sure that's not the image Jesus was trying to pass along. Stick around, I'm Father Lorenzo from Ambo. This is The Cutaway. Okay, so if you want to seem really smart every time you're talking about the Gospels, then you need to know certain things about each of the 4 books. Today, our reading comes from John. John was writing at a time when people did not have personal relationships with God. In fact, you didn't even know what God was or could be like. And so John's whole point was this: if you want to know God, then know Jesus. This is very important when we look at today's gospel because it lets us peek behind the curtain as to what point Jesus was trying to get across. Okay, now that we have that, let's look deeper at the gospel. So I'm not a sheep farmer. Surprise! In fact, I'm really not even sure if they're called sheep farmers. Are they? Or are they only shepherds? Or are they one and the same? I digress. Anyway, maybe you're also not a sheep caretaker, and as such, your knowledge of the Ovis Arius, that's their scientific name, so your knowledge is not well deep. But here's a few things about sheep. They can recognize their shepherd. Yep, they can actually recognize the face, voice, and smell of their shepherd for up to 2 years without even being near that shepherd. I have no idea how they know that. Apparently, they so recognize the voice that it calms them down. Speaking of that, they also trust their shepherd. And likewise, the shepherd knows the sheep. The shepherd knows that the sheep can lose their way trying to find greener pastures. And so what do trusting, intelligent sheep who get lost have to do with us? Because I don't know about you, but I can be just like them. I can get lost easily. I can get scared easily. And yet, somewhere deep inside, I too know and recognize my shepherd. And that brings me comfort even on dark days. There's a reason why the psalm appointed for today happens to be Psalm 23. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Want to know God? Know Jesus. And he wasn't blonde and blue-eyed holding a cute little sheep. He was dark and dirty and just spent the night looking for me, who strayed away and got lost and reigned. And it seems that everything is falling apart. Yeah, that's the shepherd who I recognize. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you like this video, be sure you hit the like button right about down over here. When you do, cats who even in their ego-driven way of being will recognize your voice will love you for it. And be sure to share with your friends. I'm Father Lorenzo Labrica from Los Angeles. See you next week on The Cutaway.